By the way, the reason this isn't a Christmas in July show is because the last time these were on was literally last Christmas in July, 2022. And like people couldn't get over how awesome they were. And because of the price, they bought multiples, because that right there is the #1 way in which, at least at Christmas, people love to use them. You can plug anything in to a wall outlet. And with our next item, it'll turn it into a remote controlled device. You plug in your coffee pot to these little receivers we're about to bring you in a pack of 3. You plug in your coffee pot, and now instead of walking to the coffee pot and hitting the on button, you do this, and everything turns on. The coffee brews, and you're still in bed. The lamp goes on, but you're on the couch all the way across the room. Decorations that normally, like, it's a whole thing to get them strung up and nailed and tucked and looking pretty, but all the cords are like under there. So to turn them on, you got to go under there. Not anymore. This is a remote control. You're going to get this and what are called 3 of these outlets. They plug into any wall outlet, and then anything you plug into them can be controlled with this, the remote control. Blackstone is the brand, and we are here with Kylie Watts, who is bringing us such a cool, convenient, but the best part is on young children, you can make this magic. You can be like, Jagger, clap your hands 3 times. And then when she does, it's like, oh, the lights come on. Anyway, sorry, I'm easily entertained. Kylie, how do these work, and what exactly are you getting?
Yeah, sure. Well, you did a great job, Sean. Basically, what happens is you get 3 receivers, 1 remote. They all work on different frequencies, so if you buy multiple sets, no worries, they're not going to interfere with each other. And what you do is basically you turn any outlet into a remote-controlled outlet simply by plugging them in. They're numbered 1, 2, and 3, and they correspond to remote 1, 2, and 3. But one of the newest features that we added last year that we never had before was that all off and on. So what I mean by this is I have one set, one plugged into my lights right here, so I can hit this one button, turns them off and on. Another one's the light on the back, so you can see that don't even have to have the line of sight because they work on a radio frequency, so they work through walls, doors, floors, and ceilings up to 100 feet away. And then finally, we have that great all and on and off switch at the bottom, so that can turn every single one of them off with the touch of a button. Batteries are included in your remote control. All you have to do is pull the little tab, so you'll be ready to use these as soon as you get them home. And to your point, not just for your holiday decor, this is great for your lights, for your fans. It's a great safety feature. People often use them before they even enter in their home to turn the lights on because they work through so many different areas. And they're just really helpful to have around the house all year round.
So clever. And I mean, how awesome is it? Because just even a TV remote has spoiled us. And then, like, you know, the remote that sometimes comes with like the Luminara candles spoils us. But now to turn virtually anything into a remote operated, and so from how far away can you activate it? And like, can you turn anything on with it? Can I plug a heater into the outlet and use these and turn the heater on? Like, are there any things that are off limits? Because leave it to me, I'm gonna make it all remote control unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, no, you got it. So basically, a good rule of thumb is, Sean, if it has its own remote, you want to be plugging these in. So if it's a heater that like a door flame that comes with its own remote, probably wouldn't use this on here. But if it's one of the ones where you have to turn the dial and then turn it off and on, and it doesn't have its own remote, you would use this. So things like lighting, your coffee makers, and it does work 100 feet away, actually 112 feet away, and through walls, doors, floors, and ceilings. So you see, she was up in bed and she was able to turn that coffee maker on because she was within 100 feet, and that's a pretty far reach. But you could be in the office sitting across the room, and no longer do you have to fumble on the floor with that Christmas tree switch, which we all done kind of crawling around. Now you can control it from across the room in the comfort of your couch or wherever you're sitting. So yeah, we love these. And this is what I was talking about with the safety feature that we realize people have been using this. Mary Beth right there is turning on her lights inside of her home without even stepping foot in here. Turn the lights off when you're going to bed. You don't have to get off and on. It's literally as simple as touching a button. And you'll see, so for instance, if you look at the one in the back, I can put my hand over it, hit the button. They work on radio frequency, so it's not line of sight. We don't have to be pointing it at it for it to work. It's going to work through all those different areas.
I love these for, because we use them during the holidays, because when we, see, I'm turning it, yeah, got it? Okay, when we put our Christmas tree up, we have to move furniture in our family room, and we move some furniture out, and lamps move out, and then other things move in. And by the time we're done decorating, the lamps that we need for light, we can no longer conveniently reach the switch that's on the cord, right? So I plug the lamps into these, and then from the kitchen, I can, as the sun's going down, it's getting dark, turn on the lamps. I love the convenience of that. And I actually would say too, like, think about all the places in your house where if you have, like, my mom's elderly and lives with us, like, for her, dexterity, mobility, coordination, it's so much easier for her to use this to turn on a light, a lamp, a fan, a this, than to figure out, like, where's the switch and I can't quite get it, and then all of that. So I do think it's also one of those life's little helpers, but when it comes to holiday decorating, you're going to freak out at how fun this is.
Agreed. Yeah, you might pick these up because you think they're going to be useful for holidays and realize you want to use these all the time. And to your point, Sean, if you actually look at the ones that you have in the studio right there, because you can see the receivers, you'll notice there's a little round blue circle when they're on. That's actually a power button as well. So even if you don't want to use your remote control, but it's easier for you to push the button than fumble with it, if you just hit that, you'll see the blue light goes off and it cuts the power to it as well. So even that is a lot easier sometimes than fumbling with those switches. So really, Blackstone has thought of everything. But yeah, I mean, it's as simple as hitting a button. Off and on, everything goes, from your lights to your fans, anything that doesn't have a universal remote. And you could be in a totally different room. They'll work through walls, doors, floors, and ceilings up to 112 feet away.
Do you remember, I'm sure you do, because it's like the 80s. The 80s were the greatest, right? There was that thing on infomercials that the commercial would be clap on, clap, right?
Yes. Of course.
This is the 2023 version of the clapper. And by the way, it doesn't require clapping because no one really understood why they had to walk through their house when they were totally living alone and like clap at themselves. But it turns something on. Now you get 3 of these wall outlets. So this is like the outlet itself. You're going to plug it in to any outlet. Notice our outlets are 2-pronged, so you don't have to have a 3-prong outlet. And then one remote. Am I correct? One master remote controls all of these. But if you don't want all of these turning on at once, you have outlet 1, outlet 2, and outlet 3. So it's like, it's perfect. And what's the range? Like if you're far away, upstairs, downstairs, like does it work through walls kind of thing?
Yes, it does. Walls, doors, floors, and ceilings, as long as you're within 112 feet away. And again, that's a really nice range. So if you're right above, the bedroom's right above me right here. If I wanted to turn the coffee maker on, I could do that very easily. And back to your clapping on and off point too. This is so much easier too, because it's like having a smart home, but without all the techie stuff. You don't need to download anything. There's no apps to have. It's as simple as plugging these in, plugging what you want to be remote controlled into them, and hitting a button. All numbered, so they're easy to remember. And if you do buy multiple sets, they all work on different frequencies. So just keep your remote with that specific set and they won't interfere with each other. So if you hit one in the living room, one in the dining room is not going to turn on because of those different frequencies. I often just write on them, Sean. In my own house, I'll put dining room. This is my dining room remote, simple and easy.
Again, for holiday decorating, it's going to be the joy of your life. You will have wanted to pick up more than one set because you'll want to use these in more than one room. But the sale price, $26, we have almost 300 ordered, and it is so easy. So I have a 6-year-old, as you know, Kylie, and a mom who's 84.
Of course.
Now, though they are in wild spectrum, they're both on the other ends of the spectrum in terms of age, young and old. They share some similarities. Both of them have to wake up in the middle of the night and go potty. And both of them, when they have to do that, don't like the dark. My mom currently sleeps with all of her bedroom lamps on because she can't essentially, when she wakes right up in the middle of the night and she's kind of disoriented, figure out how to turn a lamp on, let alone the number of lamps she'd have to turn on to clear and light her path from the bed all the way into the bathroom. And same with Jagger, right? Like when she wakes up in the middle of the night, if she doesn't have a nightlight on, she won't get out of bed and she's got to go do the thing. So if this, and you could even glue a magnet on the back so that then you never lose the remote, and you could even magnetize it like to the lamp base. This could be that way that when you wake up, you instantly, no matter what it is, turn the lights on and are able to go do your thing and come back and turn them off, and it's that simple. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, and even to that point, maybe you live alone as well and you hear something downstairs, you could turn the lights on. So maybe there's somebody at the door or whatever, just to give you that peace of mind too, because light is very synonymous with safety. I'm one who's also petrified of the dark. So you can put me in the middle there of those ages. I don't want to be in the dark when I get up in the middle of the night. This is so much easier to remember. 1, 2, 3, they're all numbered. You hit the button, you can turn them all off and on, simple and easy, and you'll love them when you get them
And
home.
I would imagine, guys, as we close, if you have a covered porch, front or back, and you're putting Christmas lights out there, again, assuming it's covered, the outlet,
Right.
then you can use these, and you don't even have to go outside to turn those decorative lights on when it's freezing or raining or whatever. So, kindly thanks.
Thank you, Sean. Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too. Okie dokie. Stephen, is that for me? You are fantastic.